Welcome. We're going to take a look at semicolons and how writers can use semicolons to separate items in a list. So when a sentence lists items that already have commas in them, writers will use semicolons to separate out those lists. So when a writer lists items in a sentence, normally use commas to separate them. Like in this example that we have here, I love peaches, pears, and apples. The writer has used two commas here, one in between peaches and pears and one in between pears and the word and. In typical situations, this is what you do. But when a writer lists items in a sentence and those items contain commas, then the writer uses a semicolon. Let me show you what this looks like. Sharon was an expert at packing shampoo, conditioner, and soap, shoes, boots, and sandals, and hats, gloves, and scarves. So what this sentence here tells us is that Sharon is an expert at packing three different categories. The first category is shampoo, conditioner, and soap. See how these already have the commas in them? Because they already have the commas in them, they have to be separated from each other using the semicolon. The next category that Sharon is an expert at packing includes shoes, boots, and sandals. Shoes, we've got a comma, and then boots, we've got a comma. Because this category here of shoes, boots, and sandals includes those commas, the semicolon has to be used to separate this category of shoes, boots, and sandals from the category of shampoo, conditioner, and soap. And then we have our last category here, and hats, gloves, and scarves. So again, we've got those commas in between the hats and gloves and in between the gloves and. And because of that, the writer has to use the semicolon here and here to separate out those items that have the commas in them. Let's take a look at another example. Alpine publishers made their fortune by marketing crime, thriller, and mystery writers, math, science, and history educators, and home, office, and medical buildings. So Alpine Publisher made their money in three different ways. One is through this first category, marketing crime, thriller, and mystery writers. That is one category, and it includes the commas. So because it includes the commas, we have to have the semicolon here. The second category, math, science, and history educators, we have the comma here and we have the comma here, separating those out. And then finally, home, office, and medical buildings. So this is a separate category here. It includes the commas, and because it does that, we separate out these three categories using the semicolon here and the semicolon here. So when you're in a situation where you have items in a list, and those items in a list include commas, use the semicolon to separate out the items in those lists so that you can write the sentence correctly, and that makes it a lot easier for your reader to understand exactly what you're trying to communicate there. I hope that's helpful to you, and good luck with your writing.